And I hope you're all doing well out there, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking an up-close look at the Dragon in Dream take on Neil Armstrong, the very first man to set foot on the moon. The review will take the usual format. We'll have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories, then it will be out with the lunar pioneer himself, onto the stand, onto the turntable for a close-up look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up as usual with a showcase at the end. Before we get into it though, a bit of background. As viewers to my channel will know, I am a big fan of Did, who started out making military figures back in the day, but they seem to have successfully branched out into other areas as well, but still sort of keeping that same level of quality and detail that we sort of associate with them. So, about 5 years ago, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the historic Apollo mission, Did decided that they were going to do all three of the lunar mission crew in 1/6 scale. What we have here is just one of the trio. I would love to have all three in my collection, but space is at a premium, so I thought I would go with the man who actually set foot on the moon first, Mr. Neil Armstrong. It's fair to say at this point as well that this is not the usual type of figure that I have in my collection. As viewers to my channel will know, the vast majority of figures and statues in my collection tend to be from movies, TV shows, video games, that kind of thing. But you know me, it's all about the variety, and I've wanted these figures ever since I started collecting. But that's enough of my ramblings. Let's take a look at this box. Now, it's what we normally come to expect from Dragon in Dreams. It's a magnetically sealed box. What you've got on the front here, and it's a big chap as well. It's got some heft to it. What you've got on the front here are the astronauts themselves. You've got Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin. These are all pictures of the figures. In the background there, you've got the shot of the moon. At the bottom here, it says Apollo 11 astronauts, 50th anniversary. Top right-hand corner, you've got the eagle, the moon itself. It says 1969 to 2019, 50th anniversary. You've got the NASA symbol in the top left-hand corner and the Did logo as well. So it's safe to say this is an officially licensed product and has been obviously made in conjunction with NASA as well. So very promising. So we'll flip it round, and as I say, I'll try and get this in camera. It's a hefty chap. This. What you've got on the side here is once again the same Apollo 11 astronauts 50th anniversary and the same logos at the bottom. And you've also got this shot here. Now, could be deceiving this actually. It does look like that's one of the actual shots taken on the moon, but I believe that Did went out of their way to replicate this scene with the figure itself, and that could very well, I think that is actually the figure, although it might not look like it. And I think this reflection here in the visor of the lunar lander and the other astronaut is just a clever presentation of the figure itself. But yeah, so you've got that on that side. We'll bring the box around. On the other side here, on the right hand side, once again, Apollo astronauts 50th anniversary, NASA logo, Did logo, and you've got all three of the figures lined up. Now, let's take a look round the back. Now this is where it gets interesting. There's an awful lot going on the back of this box, as you can see. You have got you've got shots of all three figures themselves. On the stands, you've got them with a lunar background. You've got them as they appear on the front there. There's all different shots of the accessories. I won't go through all the pictures here. And you've got the usual warnings and credits at the bottom there. Don't piss this figure off, or you might find yourself floating home. Let's take a look at the top. Once again. Now, don't be deceived here. This is actually a shot of the figure. That's actually been very, very well done by Did here with the US flag. Let's take a look at the bottom as well. That's just a repeat of what we've got on the top there. Yeah, I don't know whether the camera's catching this. It is a hell of a box to manhandle. It is huge. There's a lot going on inside as well. Well, what we'll do actually, this is a brand new figure. It literally has just come through the door. I picked it up from another collector. It's never been opened. The seals are still intact. So what we'll do is we'll actually pop these seals on camera and we'll just take a look inside. So I will very carefully open this up. Just bear with me. And yeah, once we've got them all open, we can. I'm suspecting what we're going to be seeing here as well is the usual rather excellent interiors that DID do with. Yeah, here we go. Right, we'll just put that to one side. This is no easy task, this, because this is a huge box to manhandle. We'll flip this round. Yeah, pretty much what I expected, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's that same lunar landscape again. You've got the American flag, you've got the lunar lander, and did do this with pretty much all their figures, as I understand it. This can be used as a backdrop if you're wanting to pose your figure in front of it. It is very large, so fitting it into a DTOF might be problematic. I don't think it would go in. It might just make it. But yeah, it's there as if you've just got one figure or two or three, you can use it as a diorama display. So yeah, another nice touch there, and what we've come to expect from DID. So let's just have a quick look at the rest of it. Now we've got the front cover off. Once again, you've got another picture on this rather nice card inlay on the inside. Picture of all three figures again, the same information that's on the front of the box, replicated, and yeah, some more shots on the sides here of the figure and on this side. Yeah, so very, very nicely presented, and obviously this slipcover just lifts off. You've got a foam inlay there, and inside is the figure in all its glory. So what we'll do next is what we'll always do. We will take out all these accessories and dive down onto the table and have a closer look at everything. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with Neil Armstrong, and I don't think I've ever seen as much stuff with a figure in my entire life. There's a lot to go at here. Admittedly, a lot of this is the spacesuit itself and attachments for the spacesuit, but yeah, we will run through it, but we'll run through it really, really quickly because otherwise we will be here till Christmas. We'll start with the hands. There's a pair of hands on the figure already, and you get a spare pair as well. We'll take a quick look at the sculpt on here. Well, I think it's fair to say as well at this point, you've got to remember that this is a 5-year-old figure, so I don't think we're going to see the same quality of sculpt that we see in modern hands. But yeah, there's some vein work on there, there's some bone structure, there's some nice fingernails. The fingernail paint applications there are really good. There's creasing in the palms, the flexibility test, sort of a medium to hard. So yeah, that's what you've got there, a medium to hard, definitely. But yeah, pretty nice sculpt, excellent paintwork. I'm liking these fingernails. And you get two of those, so as I say, there's another pair on the figure itself. We'll put those out of the way so we can crack on with everything else. I will also say at this point as well, I am by no means am I an expert in spaceflight, or do I know anything at all about the function of the spacesuit and how it works. So if I'm getting anything wrong here, I do apologise. I'm just going to call this, and we'll take a look at it now actually, so we can make some space. I'm just going to call it the life support system, the backpack, and this is absolutely huge. It's got this lovely sort of white material over it. It's accurate as far as I can tell. I've taken a look at some photographs and some films from the actual lunar landings themselves, and I've also checked out some other reviews as well, and from experts in the in the space flight field, who all say that the accuracy here is frightening. And as far as I can tell, this looks phenomenal. So what you've got here is the whole life suit itself with multiple pipes and hoses coming off the back. They're all color coded, which is accurate. I also believe as well that this has a party piece, which I'm not going to attempt on camera, but if you actually undo these studs around the sides here and take this nylon covering off, apparently all the bits and pieces underneath, which are sculpted in plastic, and there is some metal on here as well, there's quite a bit of metal, are all incredibly accurate. So what DID have actually done is gone to the trouble of actually sculpting the whole thing underneath here to make it as accurate as possible. So yeah, what you've got on the front here are the NASA logo, and there's another patch on the bottom here that's talking about the water reservoir recharge. There's 8 instructions on there. And this is something else I've noticed actually in getting all these accessories out, is that all the typing and the typeface and all the written information on this figure is clearly readable. So yeah, props to DID for the accuracy. I have seen this thing without the cover on, and it looks incredible. It really does. For something that 90% or 100% of people aren't going to display without the cover on. To go to that level of detail is excellent. So a huge thumbs up there to Did. So yeah, you've got all these pipes. You can see all the internal workings of the life support system, and it's got this nylon covering on here. While we're at it, it comes in two sections. There's this section as well. This has got exactly the same level of detailing on it with the nylon cover apparently as well. I think these are the oxygen tanks. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I believe the oxygen tanks are housed in here. And if you take this cover off and remove the screws, you'll actually find those oxygen tanks in there. You've got the state's flag on the front there. Yeah, we've got these hoses coming out of it. All these hoses are actually coated with the same nylon material. I believe that's the air hose as well there coming out, and that simply slots on to the top of that section on these runners, which we'll do off camera when we construct Mr. Armstrong. So yeah, let's put the backpack to one side for a second. Have a quick look at the rest of these bits and pieces. Oh yeah, there's a third piece to this life support system. This is the part that sits on the front of the chest. Same story again here. Metal and plastic sculpting and pieces on the exterior. Apparently, once again, if you take this nylon off, it's completely accurate underneath. You've got this hose coming out, and I believe this sits on the front of his chest as well. So we'll put that to one side. And also fair to say that life support system has some real heft to it. The amount of work that's gone into that is phenomenal. So what else do you get? We'll continue with the suit. You get the boots themselves, the moon boots. Now that's got what looks like some loose stitching on there, but we can remove that. These actually fit over. The figure already has boots on, but these actually fit over those boots. But we'll take a look at that when we bring the figure out. These look very, very accurate to me. Sculpted plastic on the bottom. This silver material here is, it feels like there's a cotton underneath it, and then this has been stitched to it. The stitching is absolutely excellent here. The 6-scale stitching is really, really good. All these straps are either cotton or a nylon. And yeah, it just looks very, very accurate. And you've got the tread on the bottom as well. Obviously, 2 of those, so we'll put those to one side. What else do you get? Let's have a quick look at this base. And actually, no, let's get rid of these smaller accessories first. Let's take a look at this camera. This really blew me away. This is the camera that Neil Armstrong used to film on the moon, and the level of detail. See if I can get this into camera here. Is absolutely excellent for a 5-year-old figure. I mean, I don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but it actually even says on there. It says, I believe that says Hasselblad electric camera. The paint washes on here are fantastic. You can even read the name of the lenses on the lens. Yeah, you've got silver paint washes, gold paint washes. It says here, remove dark slide before installing magazine. There's instructions all over here which are perfectly legible, but the accuracy in the paint applications on there is absolutely incredible. So props to Did on that one. And you also get this interchangeable film reel. Once again, covered in lots of little bits of information. There's a readout there, just exceptionally accurate, exceptionally well painted. And this actually slots in. There are 2 clips. I'll try and get the light onto this. Unfortunately, it's a bit dark. I'll just move this lighting around a little so we can see this. Yeah, on the top of this this secondary film reel is actually 2 slots at the top, and you simply pop it in to the back of the. I said simply. This is it's quite delicate. This, so I would exercise caution if you're thinking of picking this figure up. Then it clips onto the back like that, and there you have the whole unit itself. And yeah. Excellent paintwork, excellent sculpt, incredibly accurate and incredibly detailed. So yeah, hats off to Did on that one. We'll put that to one side. While we're on the camera, you get 2 interchangeable lenses. It's simply a case of popping them on. They clip onto the front of the camera. Once again, the detailing here is it's almost. It's frightening how much detail they've gone into on this. If you can see this, all the numbers are clearly seen on the actual zoom lens itself, Really great work here, and the lens has got almost a multicolored reflective sheen to it. Yeah, so you get two of those, and they're as accurate as the camera. So we'll put those to one side. Let's have a quick look at this helmet. The helmet comes in three parts. There's this bubble section, which I believe is the pressure bulb. Then there's the top section, and you've got what I believe they call this the Snoopy cap. The Snoopy cap itself is made out of what feels like it's a combination. It actually feels like it's cotton. I'm not 100% certain that it's cotton. It might be a man-made fabric. Could be possibly a polyester or a nylon. But yeah, sculpted very well. The colours are excellent. You've got two microphones in the side here, which are actually attached to two plastic sections within the Snoopy cap itself. You've got this strap at the bottom here, which is nylon, I think, nylon or cotton. Yeah, just very, very well sculpted. The colours are spot on. Yeah, so that's the first thing that goes on his head. Once you've attached that, then it's the pressure bulb. Now, this is incredibly delicate, and straight out of the box, I did notice a few issues with this. If the camera can pick this up in this line, be careful not to drop this. There are some hairline scratches and marks on this. Now, as I said, this is a brand new figure, literally straight out of the box. So you saw me break the seals. Now, I don't know whether this is down to the just simply the aging of this, but this section underneath, this blue section, which is the headrest inside the pressure bulb, but actually come loose over time. I believe it was this adhesive tape holding it on. I think maybe its movement around inside the helmet has caused these hairline scratches and these dark marks. But yeah, that's yeah, it's an issue that's come out of it just being sat in the box for so long and travelling. So yeah, unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not a deal breaker. So yeah, but the pressure bulb, the pressure globe itself is all clear plastic, as you can see. You've got these rather nice red metallic paint sections across the bottom. You've got that blue metallic paint on this valve on the side, and then in the headrest section on the back as well. Very delicate, and it looks like it's not travelled particularly well, but still very, very impressive. But I'm going to have to exercise caution with this because it feels like it's got a little bit brittle over time as well. But yeah, so that's the pressure bulb. I'll pop that to one side, and the final part of the helmet is the section that goes over the top. Now this comes in several different pieces. It's got the same white nylon across the top there, covering it up. It feels like there may be some metal in the inside. It's got some weight to it. It doesn't feel like it's all plastic, but you've got a hose on the inside there. It fastens with this Velcro fastening at the front here, which seems to, that's because it's been stuck down for 5 years. Got to be very careful on doing that. But yeah, then you've got this plastic clip at the front where you attach it, and then it's party piece. Obviously, there is a two-section visor system. Yeah, the first visor being the clear one, and then the second visor being the gold one. I really do like that, and exceptionally reflective it is too. But yeah, that's the gold visor. So we'll pop those back up. Yeah, it feels very sturdy, very well constructed. That's all the bits and pieces for the helmet. Finally, the gloves. It's a case of simply taking off the hands that are already on there, removing the wrist peg, popping it in there, folding back these sleeves, and sticking the gloved hands on. These are a lot softer and a lot more flexible than the ungloved hands, but the paintwork is really nice. You've got multiple creases in there, multiple paint. Well, I wouldn't say multiple paint applications. It doesn't look like they've gone to town too much on there, but I think they focus more on the creasing rather than the coloration. But yeah, it looks accurate to me, and I mean, just as an example of the attention to detail as well, if you look on the side of this glove, stitched into the nylon itself, are a set of instructions and do's and don'ts, which is absolutely incredible because they are all readable. They are all fully readable. So yeah, two of those. We'll pop those to one side. Very nice they are too. Finally, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. I haven't got a clue what this is. It was in the box. I no doubt if it is a vital piece, I will find a place for it when constructing the figure. So yeah, that's whatever it is. Let's take a look at this this base, the final piece. Now, this is one heck of an impressive base. What you've got here is a solid wooden carved base. Really, really nice. It looks exceptionally premium, exceptionally high end. I've got a number of did figures that have got these wooden bases, and I do like them. It gives them a really, really almost museum grade appearance. On the bottom there, it's this foam pad, so you're not risking any slipping or scratching. This wonderfully varnished wood, carved wood, and then on the top here you've got this polystone section to represent the lunar surface, and very nice it is too. It's got sort of multiple grey paint washes on there to give it that lunar look. There are footprints sculpted into the base itself, so it looks like it's been walked on. It's just really, really nice, and as I say, it gives it that premium look and premium feel, and it's got some heft to it as well. What you do get as well, obviously, is I was going to say a standard issue crotch grabber, but this isn't. This is all metal. It's nice to see an all metal crotch grabber, and it doesn't clip into place. It actually screws in. It's threaded at the end there, and you screw it into this section at the back here. We'll just do that on camera. Yeah, it's nice to see it screwed in rather than just clipped in, and it's metal as well. But it is holding a lot of weight, this thing. I would imagine when I've got this figure constructed, it is going to have some serious weight to it. And finally, you get two nameplates with this, which is a nice touch from Bid. Rather than just the one, you get the two. They're both metal, both super shiny. First one just says Neil Armstrong on there. It's got that engraved, so you can pop that wherever you want to. And the second one is actually a nameplate itself. Now, this is really, really nicely engraved. It says 1969, 2019 there, Apollo 11, 50th anniversary moon landing. It's got an adhesive strip on the back, so if you're wanting to, say, stick it here to the front of the display base, which is probably what I will do, and then you can have the Neil Armstrong just sat in the lunar sand, wherever you want to put it. So yeah, a couple of really, really nice nameplates as well. I have to say, for a first look at this figure, I am really, really impressed. Knowing their attention to detail and the quality that they produce, I was sort of expecting something high end, but yeah, it's the level of detail that's got me blown away here. But that's enough of me wobbling on about their attention to detail. We're here to see Neil Armstrong himself, so without further ado, we'll cut to the chase. I will bring the guy out, but that will be after I put him together. And knowing that you need to construct these things yourself, that could take some time. So let's cut to the chase and bring out Mr. Armstrong. Okay, so here he is, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand, straight onto the turntable, the legend that is Neil Armstrong. I thought we'd do this section in two parts, simply because I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at him before we construct the entire suit. So we'll do that next, and we'll do that in a different section. I thought it would be a good idea to look at him just as is, and straight away I am very, very impressed. Straight out of the box, it's first of all it's that level of detail that strikes me. The proportions are correct as far as I can tell. That suit looks phenomenal, even without the rest of the bits and pieces attached to it. But we'll do as we always do. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. It's going to be a slightly unorthodox review, this one, because it's not every day that we'll review somebody in a NASA spacesuit. So yeah. First of all, let's talk about that suit itself. Now, the suit itself is all the same, that same sort of nylon stroke polyester. I think it's a nylon material. There's no split cut boot design here. These are the under boots, if you will, as we spoke about in the accessories section. We'll look at this thing as a whole rather than each individual part of it, because I think it works better that way when you look at it as a whole. What you've got here is the exterior suit itself. It's got some lovely stitch work in there. We'll get him off this stand actually and get him into camera so we can have a close-up look at the detailing here. The level of stitch work here is phenomenal. There are pouches, there are multiple different sections, there are knee pads. If you work your way up, there are these metal studs, which are really shiny and really nicely done. There's multiple hose points and attachment points here. These sections here for the life support system are really beautifully painted. I think they're metal. They feel cold to the touch. I am assuming they're metal. You've got the emblems on the front of the suit. There's the NASA emblem, obviously his name across the front there, and then you've got the Apollo 11 badge. I think it feels padded. Yeah, there's most certainly a lot of padding underneath this suit, or it could very well just be the suit itself. It's actually sewn into the suit. I'm not going to attempt to remove it to find out, but yeah, that fantastic stitch work is continued down the arms with the pockets. The ends of the suits itself here, which where the gloves attach, are really nicely painted. You've probably seen this while it was going around on the turntable. They've even included the watch itself. Now, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who actually manufactured the Apollo 11 watches. They were specifically designed for that mission and for the lunar mission. Can't remember who it was though. If someone wants to put that in the comment section below, I would be really grateful. You've got an elastic strap on here. It's designed to fit obviously over the top and around the suit itself with a plastic face there, really nicely sculpted. On the shoulder there, you've got the stars and stripes, once again in that nylon material stitched in. You've got this silver section on the back here. The stitch work just continues all the way down. The paint applications on the joiners for the gloves and the helmet are this lovely sort of, I'll call it a satin finish paintwork, which looks really nice and really screen accurate. Underneath the suit as well, I'll try and get this into shot. He is wearing a white t-shirt. He said hopefully, possibly a t-shirt. But yeah, it looks like there's a clip in there as well. I'm assuming that's going to attach to something when we try and construct the full suit. Onto the head sculpt. Now, having revisited some old footage and some still photographs, I think the sculpt here is really good. I think they have captured the likeness of Neil Armstrong really well. Yeah, the very accurate sculpt. I think what lets it down a little bit are the paint applications. We are talking 5 years ago when this was made. I think it did have come on in leaps and bounds in their paint applications on their head sculpt. I think, yeah, sculpt-wise, absolutely excellent, from the quality of the hair to the glassiness of the eyes, and capturing Neil Armstrong's look. They've done a fantastic job. I just think that the paint applications here could have been a little bit more. It could have done with a few more passes, shall we say, in the paint application department. They're a bit flat, a bit dull. Some of that skin tone is lost. But yeah, how I'm going to be displaying this is with helmet on. I mean, there are multiple options here for how you want to display. You can have it completely helmet off, helmet under his arm, him holding the helmet. For me, it's going to be helmet on, so it's not a huge deal breaker. But yeah, for a 5-year-old figure, I think they've done a pretty good job there. I think, as I say, sculpt very accurate, but paint applications could have been handled a little bit better. But it is what it is. But overall, and it's very light actually as well. I didn't mention that. There's not an awful lot of heft to this, which is probably good, because I think once we've got that full suit on, we are going to be seeing some serious weight here. So, oh yeah, and a look at these hands. These are the hands that we didn't look at in the accessories section. Now, they've got that did thing going on here. They're pegged in, but they've got these holes in here, which means that these are posable hands. So, yeah, you can actually... I'm not the world's biggest fan of these, to be honest with you. I prefer swap out hands, but yeah, I'm assuming these are for gripping the camera or gripping the helmet when he's in ungloved mode. But yeah, you've got the same level of sculpt on there. It's pretty good, if not the best. There's veining in there. There's some reddening on the knuckles, and those fingernails are done really well. But yeah, there he is. So we'll pop him back on the stand. So, yeah, there he is. That's Neil Armstrong, the first man to set foot on the moon. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the construction phase. We're going to put the entire suit together itself and take a look at how he is fully kitted out. So without further ado, let's cut to the spacesuit. Okay, so here he is, Mr. Neil Armstrong himself, the first man on the moon, fully suited, fully accessorized, and I have to say, I'm very, very impressed. The level of detail here is absolutely phenomenal. The proportions are amazing. The accuracy is off the charts, as it normally is with Dragon in Dream. Those people who are new to Dragon in Dream, and those people who have watched my channel before will know my feelings on Dragon in Dream. I love their figures. I think they're absolutely superb, but you need the patience of a saint and the hand-eye coordination of an eye surgeon to actually go about the construction. It can be infuriating. It takes some time, but that effort is rewarded. And this is what you get as a result. As I mentioned at the top there, this has sort of been on my hit list for a long, long time, and I'm so pleased to have finally landed this figure. We'll stop him spinning and have a quick look. We've already done the unaccessorized, unsuited version, and yeah. It really does. Once you add that life support system, that helmet with the wonderful gold reflective visor, I'll just drop that down so you can see it. It's absolutely amazing. I'm almost lost for words. There's a few niggles in there in the construction with parts that need altering ever so slightly to actually make them work, and fitting that helmet can be a bit infuriating because it has a tendency once you put the pressure globe on it actually turns the head. As you can probably see, he's looking off at an angle here. That's simply because the head moves when you're trying to fix that on. So there's minor niggles, but they're construction issues more than anything else. But the finished product, as I say, is, well, it's there in front of us. It is absolutely amazing. I think as a representation of Neil Armstrong, it is in 6 scale. I don't think it can be beaten. I think it really, really is. It's did at their best. And considering this is 5 years old, I think it is. That makes it even more amazing that 5 years ago that they were producing figures of this quality. I would say some minor niggles. I suppose the biggest one is perhaps the paint work on the head sculpt could be slightly better. It's not on a par with current did figures. Good example would be Tom Cruise as Maverick, which we reviewed recently on the channel. Check that out if you haven't already. The paint applications on that head sculpt are phenomenal. Here, a little bit soft, but as I say, these are minor niggles. We're not going to run through the full suit again. We've already done that, and you've seen the accessories. So what we'll do is we'll just get him spinning again. And admire him in all his glory. So yeah, there you have it. That is Dragon in Dream, Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, and just a fantastic figure, and a really great celebration of that sort of monumental day there back on I believe it was the 20th of July, 1969. I think I was maybe a year and a half old when this monumental event happened. So yeah, there you have it. That's Mr. Neil Armstrong. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have this figure, please drop a comment in the comment section below. How are you finding it? Just if you have any random comments at all, please, drop them in the comment section. I'd be fascinated to hear what's your take on this figure. It's not the normal run-of-the-mill 6-scale figure. Something a little bit different, but that's the great thing about this hobby, this collecting game that we're in. There's so much out there to choose from. You really, really can open up an entire new world. So, yeah, there you have it. I suppose all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. Oh, and what's on the horizon? Nearly forgot. Coming up in the next week or two, we're going to be delving into Fishbones for the first time on this channel with their Michael Corleone and V for Vendetta figures. We've also got Hot Toy Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. That's on its way as well. Storm Collectibles, Ken Shiro from Fist of the North Star, another one of my favourite animes. That's heading our way soon, and we'll also be diving into more Susu toys with the comedian and Ozymandias to go alongside the Rorschach that we reviewed recently on the channel. If you haven't checked that review out already, please do so. So all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you to those of you who subscribe to the channel for all the support. If you haven't already, please hit that bell notification icon, hit that subscribe button. As I've just said, we've got lots more content coming up, so you don't miss anything. And a massive thank you to everybody. So without further ado, it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from the first man on the moon, and it's over to the showcase.